I grew up making games, so I wanted to make a career out of that. Shawnee being a small school was the thing that drew me to it. Shawnee is nationally ranked in the Princeton list for game design. A lot of the professors own their own businesses. That kind of prompted me to start my own business. I started a game studio. I don't think that would have been possible if the school were bigger, and Shawnee put that all together for me. I'm Dalton, and I invite you to discover Shawnee State University for yourself. Please visit discover.shawnee.edu.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to a hopefully amazing night of SSU Esports Smite. I will be one of your hosts, Cannon Fodder, and guest hosting with me is Ronan. Want to say hello?
Hello, I'm Ronan. I'm here for the smite. He's here for the hype. It'll be good.
So I've been told. I am known to bring some hype, and with the way this team's been playing, I think we're going to have a lot of it. This season, what I've been seeing is very rough for our team, but I know our players are built for it. I've been watching them play, been watching them progress, and it's been rough, but they're in for it. And tonight's no different. We'll be playing RIT Orange, and from little known insider fact, they are very good, from what I've heard. And I think our team has been preparing for it. I think they're going to be ready for this. What are your thoughts on how this performance is going to go? How it's going to play out?
This performance, it's going to be excellent. We were, as you said, off to a rough start in this season, but we've gotten our groundwork, we found our footing, and we're just nothing but wins from here on out is the plan. They may be a tough team, but we are a tougher team, and we plan to win.
We definitely are. I believe, as the kids say, we are built different, and on the back of all our individual play has been up to par. As a team, we're performing very well, and I can't wait to see this. Maybe we'll be graced with a 3-map series. Maybe we'll see a good slugfest for this. I'm waiting to see. Honestly, the man after my own heart, Lord Ludd, their support player. He's a backbone to this team. He's the person that you can rely on to do what needs to be done. I'm very excited to see what comes out of him. But, I'm also big to see what comes out of their solo laner. I've heard good things from their solo. What are you most excited to see for this?
I'm most excited to see how our mid lane and our jungle tend to carry the game, because as of right now, the game is played mostly through the mid lane and the jungler. So I'm excited to see how they deal with the opponent's mid lane and jungler. Our solo laner is also quite good, newer to our team, but he's here and he's here to stay. He's going to do good stuff for us, I believe. And definitely, I expect Lord Ludd, to see him pop off a little bit with his hybrid between support and carrying a little bit, because he is, without a doubt, one of our best players.
Yeah, the jungle mid 2v2 is always a very interesting look at, and I believe we have the ability to really pull some interesting pieces out of this match.
Definitely.
Well, I believe we are setting up right now for our lobby. We will cut to break, and we will be right back with draft, hopefully.
See you soon.
And welcome back. We are here at the pick ban phase, and we're gonna get kicked off. We're gonna see what's each team gonna prioritize on these bans. Shawnee State on blue side and RIT on red. First ban coming out is the Dunza. It's the little raccoon guy that has money. That's the best I can say.
SSU is going to ban Don Zabura, and we're going to see RIT banning out Set, which is quite interesting because, fun fact, we don't play Set.
Hey, whatever they don't know won't hurt them when it comes to the ban phase.
Exactly. We see a Persephone ban out of SSU. Very difficult mid laner to deal with right now.
Definitely. Been seeing a lot of that coming through my, spectacular bronze 3 games.
Absolutely.
The emoji ban coming out from RIT, that feels like a very targeted ban to our support.
Definitely. But Umoja is also overall like a good support, and we're going to see the Fenrir ban out of SSU. Very interesting. They don't want to have to deal with such a beads burner because Fenrir is quite good at that.
Yeah, that's my permanent ban when I'm in jungle. And Kukulon, first draft.
Cool, and one of the best solo laners. Very strong pick. My guess is RIT is probably going to pick for something like Guan Yu, who's another strong solo laner who can out-sustain Kukulon. But we'll have yet to see. The third ban out of RIT, though, is Tsukiyomi. I'm not quite sure why they've banned him. Maybe they just didn't want to deal with him. But Tsukiyomi hasn't been that big of a threat, I feel, this season. But everyone's got their own, like, I don't want to play against this ban, so I understand it.
For sure. You know, just some characters you just don't want to deal with, and that's definitely what that feels like.
Exactly.
The Cupid draft comes out. Cupid and Nemesis. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You know, but that's a jungle ADC pick right there. You know.
Yes, it is a jungle ADC pick. Nemesis, very annoying in the jungle. She can burn through any protections you get on a support or a solo laner. That ends up diving the backline later. Very strong. As we see the on her Xing Chen taken out of the taken for SSU. This is very strong. I know Lud really likes his Xing Chen. He enjoys throwing people into the backline. And I'm a little surprised to see on her because we don't typically see on her. It might go to the mid lane, but I really think it's going to go to the AD carry lane. And I'm curious if it does go to the carry lane, how... Oh, we do have Flake here. Never mind. We have Flake here. Flake loves on her. I didn't think Flake was playing tonight.
And speaking of the Guan Yu into the Kukulon, they just banned Guan Yu out.
Interesting.
They're not going to let it happen. They go for a double solo ban. They are going to give this Kukulon as much room to work with as possible.
Definitely. The Sobek on RIT's side, very good pick, able to pluck players out of position and just allow your backline carries to melt them. Thoth also very interesting. Not the greatest. He kind of just wants to sit back and farm till late game to where you can destroy people with his ultimate. Very strong. Similar to Giannis for SSU, except for Giannis is a little stronger mid to early game, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely annoying if you want to play those early fights. Giannis is just kind of there. You know, it's just no fun.
Yeah, a great beads burner as well with his portals.
See what they choose to round out these comps with.
Yeah, what's their jungler? A Ravana jungle? It is what we're gonna see. Ravana is a great jungler. That's about all he does. He runs around and like throws his fists out. I don't play a lot of him.
He jungle, and then the King Arthur to round out RIT's pick.
There'll definitely be interesting seeing the King Arthur and Coca-Cola, and both really strong poke gods in the solo lane. So it'll come down to who can manage their HP better.
Definitely.
Hello. Why on camera? Sup, chat. I'm interested to see where First Blood's drawn, if it gets drawn over in duo or if it gets drawn in solo. I have a feeling it's probably going to get drawn in duo, especially with how comfortable Flake is on his Anhur. It's really strong, and Anhur's a really strong 1v1 god, especially in the carry lane. Like, there's not a whole lot Cupid can do against it, in my opinion.
Definitely. And the support in that lane with him is also a very good, like, just getting early picks, like setting up those early kills. So I think definitely First Blood's going to come out of that duo lane, and I'm excited to see what's going to come out.
Absolutely. We got our players loading in here slowly, but surely.
And it looks like we are putting into our lanes. We are getting ready to start this.
We are. I know Twins very comfortable on the Giannis from our side, as well as Flake on the Anhur. I think I would favor this in the the draft in the side of SSU, but I also don't know what RIT is going for. They might have some secret plan that I do not realize that is going to make it difficult for our team.
And maybe cooking up something, some kind of weird split early, late, just kill them all kind of comp,
Yeah, maybe.
See, Lord Lud's up here, do a little exchange, making sure he gets that vision early, that deep vision.
Definitely. Just trying to see what the opponent enemy team started without them knowing what our team has started for their item builds.
Got set up, jungler going for a speed buff right out the bat, and the damage can't being taken too.
Definitely.
Got this normal early game, getting all the buffs set up for whoever needs them. And we'll split into our lanes respectively, smack around each other a little bit.
Yep.
SSU reaches wave first, so I mean.
Giannis taking the early level lead. Not like it's going to matter that much, though, because Thoth will get 2 off of that wave.
Yeah, and dual lane splits for their obligatory buff while they just shove away.
Absolutely.
Jungler's rotating. One more early game. Looks like there is some kind of exchange going down in solo. Both solo laners kind of lit. Low, as the cool kids would say, but
yep,
they're just gonna deal their damage and back off. Or not.
Or not all.
Oh!
We do see that first blood coming out of solo game from Defender Deity on Emulus. That's unfortunate. Hopefully, it's an early game kill. There's not too much that loses off. This is like a small experience lead. I don't expect it to create too much, but definitely the goal difference from that being a first blood kill is gonna matter.
As I take that first blood, the mid lane Giannis is just getting pushed in here.
Definitely.
But on the complete opposite, on our duo lane, we have RIT is kind of just shoved under their turret.
Yeah, RIT is playing very defensively because they do not want to mess with Xing Chen and on her duo.
It's going to give our duo lane time to take the new Scorpions that have now spawned.
The new Scorpions. They're a fun addition. I enjoy them. So it's when you're just like, I got nothing to do. Let me go beat up the Scorpion dude, and you're just like, yeah.
Now, for those unacquainted with this map or what came with the season, what exactly are the Scorpions for?
So the lesser Scorpions are the Scorpions that are found in the lane, and they are used to so when they're knocked, they create a healing aura around them after you delete their initial health bar, and then they take 3 additional auto attacks to kill to get your gold and to get some experience off them, which is very interesting, and it's always a fun thing to do. And then inside of the jungle, there are a few greater Scorpions that work similarly to the lesser Scorpions, except for when they're killed, they will buff, depending on what side of the jungle they're on, the purple buff and the red buff if you're on the carry side, or if you kill the greater Scorpion on the solo side, it'll buff the speed and blue buffs, which are just basically more powerful equivalents of the 2 buffs.
So basically, they're very important.
Yes. Especially because the greater Scorpions, or there are a few greater Scorpions where the Gold Fury and Fire Giant spawn later in the game, that will prevent the Gold Fury and Fire Giant from spawning unless you kill them in time.
With these new important objectives, these lane progressions are very, very important, and our duo lane is making sure that Scorpion is.
Definitely. Especially taking the other team Scorpion, denying them some farm, always important and good to do.
Now, you see our solo laners are kind of resetting here, looking for a little bit of a buy, a little bit, get a little power spike coming in.
Definitely.
Mid lane had a little bit of exchange, had to reset. It's nothing too big, just a little damage exchange. You may lose a little early, but it doesn't matter, What matters
Exactly. I will note, so the King Arthur on the opposing team has gone into a more traditional solo build, with starting with Bluestone, whereas Emulus here has gone with a newer start type of lead, where he doesn't get a starter item, but instead waits for 20 to buy a certain starter item that really helps him out later on. But it does give him a little bit of the lack of damage early on, which could be a cause of why he died so early, is the King Arthur was just able to outpoke him with his Bluestone pendant.
Yeah, it's, the lack of damage on solo laners can add up, but once Kukulon hits that little buff he needs, he is going to start slaying.
Definitely.
Looks like we've got some rotates from the support, just making sure the jungle's secure, making sure we get some vision down, making sure we just know where everyone's at so no one gets blown up. Very scary when what happens is just someone comes busting out the jungle.
Definitely.
We're gonna have a little exchange in the mid lane. Nothing too dangerous. Just letting each other know that they're there. No, don't mess with us. There's two.
Exactly.
Got it. Now, looks like there's somewhat of a rotate, but
looks like the King Arthur's trying to get vision on our team's blue buff for an invade. Not gonna happen because we did manage to get our blue buff, but with as much pressure as he has in solo lane with his 2-level lead from that first split is definitely going to put SSU behind and making sure that they secure their blue buff every time it comes off cooldown.
Definitely. Oh, looks like Sobek is thrown into the tower. Does he get out? Maybe not. No. I don't know. The damage is coming through under the Janus.
Thoth does miss his ult, so unable to confirm the kill on the Giannis.
So it's 3 on that Ravana, though. Let's see what happens. Let's see what the sport can make happen here.
Definitely.
Well, I don't know. Everyone's showing up.
Rotate Colin and King Arthur.
Nemesis is lit. They're trying to get in there. There's so much damage coming through. And the Nemesis does go down.
Get the Nemesis, but Slick is going to pay with his life as well. And Emulus as well. That's unfortunate. It's going to set our solo laner even further behind. So we might be going to have to see a little more passive play out of SSU if they want to keep this one going.
Yeah, we do. It does go 2-for-1. Trade mid lane, solo, and jungler for their jungler. So, I mean, not a trade that you necessarily want to take, but it's one that's worth it just to get your people ahead.
Definitely.
And while the party mid lane is happening, we still have the carries just farming away, doing what they're supposed to do.
Their goal is to get 20 as quick as possible so they can be as impactful as possible in those team fights.
Let's see. Looks like
we're looking to see maybe a defense of the blue buff here. Well, RIT goes to invade it. We'll see if they manage to get it.
They send 2 to it. Ravana just gets out. There's no reason to stay and fight that.
Ravana does manage to pick it up, so they did get it.
And it turns into a 3v2. Let's see, I think, well, King Arthur is fighting Kulon.
Everyone's coming over, seeing if there's an engage, but they know this engage would not be smart, so they do just back off.
Yeah, they're down.
It was better, but big Giannis ult coming through mid.
See what happens here. SSU was deep in enemy territory.
Definitely. Looks like they're going to get out. This is Ying Chen, though. Playing a little risky.
Ying Chen's just about to get caught. And he's, so that comes out. There's 3 on him.
Definitely. He is not going to make it out. But our Ravana, he is going to make it out.
Yeah.
They were playing dangerously, and it did. Unfortunately, it did not benefit us.
I think they take oracles here.
Yes, they're going to take the oracles to get vision on the greater scorpion on the duo side, and it looks like they are going to try and do the scorpion on the duo side as well.
We've got to concede. We lost our support, our biggest source of tankiness and ability to engage. So, we're still doing good. Losing one set of objectives like that, not a big deal for this team. We still need to fight this. Unless, still looking for some aggression here. Jing Ching goes in on mid.
He's got his Jing Ching ult in mid.
Go back ult to respond to get out.
Definitely. And Thoth just coming in and saying, hey, get away from my support or I will ruin your day.
It's like just some good old farming for, no blood exchange, nothing happens, just kind of a letting you know, don't be here, or else we'll fight. We see Kukulon's turret's kind of getting there, kind of getting low from all that prio, that early, the conventional build Arthur was going gives him that early, damage into that turret. But
yeah,
we'll see how this turns out. I mean, they're kind of stacked.
Definitely, our Kukulon is closing the level lead, and it looks like our experience is it's about even. But it's like when you look at the gold. SSU being down 2,000 gold is not the greatest. It's not unwinnable, but it's not ideal either. It's definitely something they can come back from and something I expect them to come back from, but it's going to take work and some passive and wise decision-making on their part.
Definitely. They have to make these decisions to not either fight these fights where they burn everything up front, or, they've got to make these... It looks like they're making a decision to attack the duo lane.
Definitely. We see a fight over here in duo. Looks like it's a 2v3, and the Cupid will go down to dummy Slick Servana.
They're going to catch out the jungler, too. That's a 2-for-nothing trade.
Definitely. That was a good trade, and that will almost even up this gold lead. Actually, taking it down to only what looks to be about 1,000 for a gold lead, which isn't as bad as being down by 2,000. They're definitely making it for it.
That gold can add up whenever you need them. Those items, that little bit of damage, a little bit of protection, just to survive.
Absolutely.
King Arthur has on for the invade. It looks like he's going to get some deep stuff going on here.
Not going to get too much out of it, but he did manage to poke out the Kukulon and take the tier 1 on the solo side.
It's like Ravana is going to help with they're just going to back off. He runs away too fast. Arthur's speedy.
He is. He's definitely fast, especially when you give him the reinforced greaves instead of the warrior tabi, allowing him to move around and tank a little better, which is what you want out of your solo laner. Because King Arthur has many abilities and doesn't necessarily need that extra power to deal all that extra damage.
Definitely, it is a King Arthur, kind of scary when he gets a rotation in, but I think the Kukulon has enough sustain to not blow up instantly.
Absolutely, I think we're probably going to see a little more rotations out of the King Arthur soon, as we are approaching that 15-minute mark, and with his 2-level lead, he can afford to rotate and try and pick up a kill.
I think. Looks like RIT's jungler is looking to start the Greater Scorpion for the Fire Giant.
And they do take it.
As everyone else just kind of spreads, farms, gets down the vision they need.
Yep. A gank over here in the duo lane. And the Cupid does go down.
Just gets blown up by just the raw damage.
Yeah. Honor, one of the better 1v1 gods, especially as I stated before, in the carry lane. Once that Cupid was pinned, there was not much he could do.
They're gonna try to start the Gold Fury. Sobek is here to contest. Thoth is also showing up.
Giannis tries to confirm with his ult. Does miss. However, SSU will manage to pick up the Gold Fury kill, which is gonna bring them back up to even for gold. Definitely an objective they needed to get back in this game, and they are in this game.
After
the lead that RIT has in solo is it's a good lead, but when you go to look at the carry lane, we can just see that Flake is just doing much better than the opposing team's Cupid because Anher is so deadly and Flake is such a great carry player.
Yeah, he's 2 levels up. he's got this guy pinned, the stupid pin.
Yeah.
And the only thing is we trade tier 1 mid turret for Gold Fury. I'd say we take those.
Definitely.
Red team just blows up Pyromancer, and I think there's gonna be a fight on it.
Xing Chen needs to get out, but does not look like he's able to.
Ravana gets in. Ravana blows up Thoth.
Definitely good, because there's not going to be a lot that can finish the fight. Arthur can try as he may. He is a tanky boy, but there's only so much one man can do against 3 people. He does manage to take out Twins, though.
It's one, and there are 2 coming to back him up. They may clean this up. One more goes down.
Yep. Slick is down, and we're just going to see Emulus just quick hole and just get out of there knowing I cannot fight into this anymore. That King Arthur is too big.
He can't afford the loss from being down. He has to give it. There's no reason to keep fighting that.
Yep.
That does, nothing, not too big impact on the Gold League. Those kills just gives up a little bit of space, but I think these boys have still got it. I think they're still going to be in it.
Yep.
Like solo lane resets. I mean, do the Cupid resets. Sorry, my misspeak. That's like 3 are stacking on solo side.
Definitely. I don't think we'll see a Fire Giant yet, but it is almost time for us to see about a Fire Giant fight. So I'd be looking for that to come up shortly.
Definitely. It looks like solo is going to attempt to reset. Gives it up. He knows people are in the vicinity.
Definitely. Ravana here is going to have to be careful on the one of the greater scorpions in the jungle with the King Arthur being so deep. Doesn't want to get caught out.
Looks like damage is on the Cupid. It's 2v2 in duo.
Definitely.
Xing Chen ult comes out. Does Cupid get out of here? No, Cupid goes down.
But Flake also goes down, so that's a 1-for-1 trade.
1-for-1 on your carries, you'll take that. Neither one gets too far ahead, neither one gets too far behind.
Exactly. It's not the greatest trade. We're still down about 1,000 gold, but we'll make up for it. I have faith in SSU. But Twins will go down from a gank from solo.
King Arthur's just going in. Well, 3 rotate.
Definitely. Will we see the Thoth go down?
Also, not even.
He pops his relics.
King Arthur tries to force Ravana. Ravana's out of the fight at this point.
Definitely. And they're just gonna stay on the Capolan. He will go down. They're just going.
King Arthur.
No mercy.
Sobek just tanks some tower shots like a champion.
Definitely.
They're just full send onto the retreating members of SSU.
Definitely. I thought that the lead that the solo got at the beginning wasn't going to be as impactful, but we are seeing I was very much wrong. That lead that the solo lane has was just, it almost appears to be too much for SSU to pull through. But I have faith in our boys. They've played from behind before, and I believe they can do it again.
Yeah, I have faith these calls are going to come through. A little bit messy on the macro, but everyone gets a little flustered when it comes to situations, and our boys got it. They've got the heart and the soul to play from behind. It looks like they're gonna try to set up maybe for a fire giant.
Definitely.
Our hearts.
And we see a game pause happen. Someone might be disconnecting. Maybe they just need to reset. Oh, we do see the Sobek does disconnect. Unfortunate. But the game is paused. He will come back and everything will be fine.
Now, with this game state, what is the win condition for SSU?
So right now, the ideal win condition would not to be to take a fight at the Fire Giant. It would be to try and steal the Fire Giant with an ultimate such as Giannis's ultimate. However, that will be difficult because RIT has Thoth, and Thoth's ultimate is great for securing the Fire Giant kill. So right now it's just kind of stay back, play passive, defend the T2s if you can, but definitely you want to defend the Phoenixes and try and steal a Fire Giant, but you can't take that fight around the Fire Giant, especially with how big the King Arthur is ahead of your team.
The King Arthur definitely seems to be a thorn in the side because he does so much damage, but he also comes in with just a tanky build and absorbs everything, even the tower shots. Tower shots mean nothing to this madman.
Exactly. His builds definitely, he's building both power and defense items, but he doesn't have a whole lot of magical defense. So if like the Giannis can manage to get a solid portal on the Arthur, it might be able to change the tides. But once again, that 3-level difference is it's a lot.
Looks like we're back. The Sobek's connection is secure. He no longer has his potato plugged in.
Yeah.
We'll see what their decision is.
Definitely.
But there's maybe go in exchange. I don't know. Supports may just have a little slap fight. We'll see.
A little slap fight. So, looking to be actually instead of a Fire Giant, we're looking for engage on the Primal Fury. Not maybe what SSU wants to take, but they might be like, we have to take this engage and win, otherwise it's over.
There's going to be
getting walked at.
3 onto the background. King Arthur's looking for some damage. King Arthur is trying to find something to open this up. He's just forcing them all.
Definitely. As we will see RIT take down the Oni Fury.
And then they're trying to back off. There's no reason to fight that. They're just gonna get out, hopefully. Oh no, there's Kukulon comes in.
We are seeing a fight go down.
Who's first?
Beautiful on her ult out of Flake. Does take down Cupid, but we gotta look out for the Flake also gets the assassin. King Arthur not doing a whole lot in the fight. Seemed to have been dedicated to protecting the backline instead of running at our backline.
Arthur's trying to get the Anther just pushes him off, stuns him, takes that, and I think it's come through. Ours, the Anther just scaling, getting those early kills, it's gonna do damage. I think we've realized, it's gonna blow someone up.
And as our team starts to close the level lead from the level cap at 20, it'll make it more difficult for the Arthur to be as effective as he is right now because our team will have caught up. So we definitely can't see things take a turn for SSU, and I have a feling they will take a turn for SSU. But we will see RIT does take down the Pyromancer.
With that Pyromancer, it doesn't look too bad still. It looks like King Arthur's going to try to take down the Graders. He's going to take down one of the Scorpions in the jungle. For a little XP boost, just trying to get ahead, maintain that. I think he realized that last fight, Anther does damage. He's scared of that damage. Yeah. So we will see what this next play is. Everyone's just kind of going their separate ways, getting their buffs, getting their farm up.
Yes, we will see Ravana will take the duo side tier 1 tower just a little bit ago to try and close the gold and tower difference between the teams.
Like they put Cupid in the duo with King Arthur, but we're all coming. That Nemesis is on our minds.
Definitely. They're just, right now, I believe they're trying to push up their Oni Fury waves from getting the Oni Fury kill to try and maximize the pressure they have in their lanes, which is why we see the Cupid over on the solo side. Especially, we're going to see them start to set up for this Fire Giant, and Cupid's just going to be able to shred it with his auto attacks.
Definitely, Cupid has the both carries get to the point where they just shred.
Definitely.
And Anther at this point, our carry, the SSU carry, still has a 2-level lead, and also a 4-kill lead.
Definitely. We see
it's under health. The Thoth comes in. And Arthur drops though.
You see Thoth is gonna pop his relics, and he will go down anyway.
It's just a gang fight trying to kill the support or the solo.
Definitely.
What goes down here?
Sobek does go down to Dummy Slick, and we are looking at a 5v3 SSU looking healthy enough, they might be able to take the Fire Giant, especially because Thoth is down and he's unable to try and steal it with his ultimate. They're just going to have to be extremely careful.
Definitely going to start it. The wards are coming in, though, so they see who's where.
Definitely. Slick gets a little over-aggressive and manages to get taken out by the Cupid Nemesis combo. As King Arthur does take out Twins, even though they do take out the Fire Giant, making it a 3v3 now.
And SSU just scrambles. They need to get out with that buff up. They need to get somewhere. They not lose it. Unless they're throwing a change here on the Nemesis.
And they do take out the Nemesis too, looking to maybe get the Cupid.
The Tart Bomb, just let him get out. He's gonna give. He doesn't want that kill.
Yeah. The bright side is that SSU does still have the Fire Giant buff on Flake, who's gonna make the most out of it, as well as Emulus for diving the back line. Maybe not the most useful on Lord Lud, but the Fire Giant buff gives you such like great health regen that it's not gonna hurt to have it on the support.
Definitely, he can go. He can tank what he needs to, get out, give it a little minute, and then get back in.
Definitely.
Now,
we are going to start to see SSU group here as they try to make the tower difference in their favor instead of the deficit. As it is tied right now, they're looking at what appears to be the tier 2 on the solo side.
Alpha rotates in. Cupid's there. They are looking for a full engage.
They're looking
RIT is just looking to not let this tower go.
Definitely. But while RIT is there, they're just going to rotate over and take the mid-tier 1 tower.
This is going to be a clean take. And the question here is, are they going to attempt to fight this? Kukulon goes in.
Does go in. The Thoth does make it out, but Ravana's on him to take out the Thoth.
Nemesis is going low. Nemesis dies.
Nemesis is out as well. This King Arthur, he's lost his lead, and it doesn't seem to be as impactful, and SSU is taking full advantage of it. While Slick does go down, trying to take on a 1v3.
They do take the turret, though, for a change.
Yes.
Now, let's see. It looks like Anther is still going to push for these kills. They're still wanting to fight this.
Trying, but under tower, there's not going to be much he can do. He does manage to get out. But there's the Cupid King Arthur. They're resisting with the Phoenix defense. SSU maybe got a little too carried away and does lose the Fire Giant on both Flake and Emulus. They're probably going to have to play a little passively here while they wait for not just Fire Giant to come up, but for the rest of their team to come up. As we do see RIT prepare to take down the Primal Fury.
It's going to be a clean take, no contest. The Giannis was uncontestable, and there is, I don't think the support could do enough to even try it, so they're just going to give it up.
Yeah. That was a smart play. They just need to regroup as 5 and get ready for the next engage.
Sure. Now let's. Yeah, it's like they're going to transfer the Primal into just another Pyro.
Absolutely, they know SSU is nowhere near to steal it. Giannis does try to steal it with his ultimate, but just a tad too late.
And with those two OBJs gone, it does spread the gold lead to about 2K, but nothing too big, nothing we can overcome with a good macro or just a good showing from SSU.
Definitely. And this late in the game, it's not necessarily going to matter as much, especially because we're getting to everyone's getting to their 6th item, and they have the gold for their full build. Whereas it's going to be a matter of who wins the team fight is going to decide who wins the game.
Yeah, a good team fight can have the tide of any game, and that's true for this one. This one it's closer than you would think just by looking at the score lines.
Definitely.
Bot's just going to try to finish his build. Bot's going to try to get, and everyone's just going to kind of jockey for position here, try to find where they need to be.
Definitely. A lot of it's going to just be right now tower defense on both sides. noticing or choosing when to push, where to position. Fire Giant does appear to be coming up in the next few seconds, so this is where we're going to see the big engage happen. And this may just be the fight that decides the game.
So Nemesis is lagging a little behind. SSU is a full 5. Now Ravana's still back. They're gonna.
Yeah.
It's going to be a full 5v5 here for this fire. The question is, who is going to get the engage? Who's going to catch the engage? Who's going to sustain? Team 10 is pushing forward, trying just to make them afraid just enough. And Fire Giant has fallen.
Fire Giant is up now. We did see a Coquelin trying to poke out, trying to flank, but he comes back to front line.
Nemesis is trying just to make sure no one's going to run up on their sides.
Definitely. Both sides playing very cautiously.
Ravana's kind of getting pushed out here by the King Arthur. They rotate to stop that. Team 10 goes in.
And initiate, followed by the Coquelin. And here's the fight.
King Arthur gets lit. They are very split here. Both just go down.
Go down. Looking at the Cupid now, not going to get anything out of it, and Emulos is going to fall. 4v4.
1-for-1 trade at this point.
Definitely. But then there goes the twins.
Giannis does die to King Arthur, and they take
Slick manages to pick up Nemesis, thankfully, out of it, but it's a 2v3, not looking too good for SSU right now.
They're gonna try to get out. I think the Ravana is just split enough where the tank against the King Arthur is just gonna tank the towers, and they don't.
Definitely. And they're gonna push through at least this tier 2, or they're not. Looks like they're gonna go back and just take the Fire Giant with their DPS they'll have out of Cupid. Should be more than enough in their eyes.
And they've got their two tankiest members just gonna take the beating while Cupid just spams little hearts at it. And looks like Jin Jin is gonna try to take this.
He is gonna try, but he will sadly not succeed. And this it's not looking too good for him. We'll see if he manages to make it out. Does get a 3-man ult to keep them off, and he will get out.
Runs away. That's a nice defensive ult. Usually usually support ult are seen as engaged, but Lord Lud just decides, nah, I need to live here. I'm just gonna throw him away from me.
Exactly, and that's sometimes what you gotta do. You gotta think a little more. I gotta be proactive and not reactive.
Definitely, and it also looks like Nemesis doesn't get the Fire Giant buff.
No, she does not come up in time, sadly.
So they're already working. It's better than it could be. You could have all 5 buffed, but it looks like they've only got 4 players to deal with that have the buff.
Yep.
There's going to be. Looks like there's 4 stacked by duo.
Definitely, we're seeing RIT group. They're looking to take down the duo side tower as well. SSU is still a little split with Ravana out in solo and Giannis so pushed up in mid. They're gonna at least have to give up this tier 1. There's not a lot you can do late game to defend a tier 1. It's not like worth it. I don't believe they're also gonna try and defend the tier 2. It's gonna be more of a Phoenix defense, especially with the Fire Giant being on every member of RIT except for the Nemesis.
Yeah, and the Ravana split push. Ravana has to come back. This is going to be a big fight.
Come back for the team fight as the Phoenix does go down, but they pick the Cupid and the Nemesis.
Yeah,
They're looking at the Thoth now as he will go down.
Big team fight for SSU. It's just the 2 tankiest members, and they should have the damage. They're hiding down. They decide King Arthur's a bigger threat. Sobek can tank, but he doesn't have the damage. They're going to go for King Arthur. And I don't know. It looks like King Arthur just spins to wins away.
Definitely.
On the bright side, though, they do get rid of 2 more Fire Giant buffs, and they're still hunting. So this may be still a turn.
This may. If they can manage to take the Fire Giant off of King Arthur, that'd be fantastic, but it does not look like they're going to be able to. We will see King Arthur trying to just prevent them from taking this Phoenix, unable to, but looking to take out the Giannis as SSU looks to just end the game.
They're going for the end.
Yeah, opponent enemy team's Titan.
They don't care about the people that are still alive. They're just going for the end. So they get it. That's a real question.
They
One more
get it,
alive.
though.
2 more
And
alive.
they
And that is
failed. That was a
that is something. That was not a way I expected that to end. But
I was not expecting that to be how it ends either. That was perfect play out of SSU, just knowing, hey, we got to play from behind. And they took advantage of that Phoenix defense that allowed them to just basically run it down mid after taking Fire Giant away from so many members of RIT and giving them what looked to be an astonishing victory.
they just, it came to that final Phoenix push, that final Titan push, and they were just like, so what, people are alive. We're just going to kill them. That's what they do. They say, forget the players. They can kill us, but you know what? The game ends when we kill the Titans. The Titans got to die first. And that's exactly what they do to get that good win out.
Exactly. It was a perfectly executed, hey, we had a rocky start, but this is how we win. And they executed on the steps that they needed to win, which was what they needed.
And I mean, the King Arthur had a good start, but after some good macro, our Kukulon got up, and it's just the Kukulon ult is such a big ult to pair with the Jing Chen ult. It's just the ability for the team fights was so one-sided towards the end of there. They just couldn't fight a full 5v5, and it was definitely, I hate to say it, but draft difference,
Definitely draft difference. The late game potential out of SSU just was so much stronger than the late game potential out of RIT.
I think we are going to. I think next game I want to see some more of this, but we will be going to break before that, so we'll see y'all next draft.
Catch you soon.
And here we are back with the ban phase. Same bands we saw first half, the Persephone and I believe that is. I'm bad with names. Set.
Set. We see the Tsukiyomi ban come out of RIT. They do not want to play against it, and SSU does not want RIT to get Kukulin, so they will ban it out.
They saw what it was capable of. They said, "Nah, we ain't gonna deal with that again. Like we don't want that to happen to us, so we're gonna get it out."
Exactly.
And another Dunes names are bad. Please help me.
Well, you see, Danziger banned from RIT. They do not want to play it, nor do they want to fight into it, which I agree. Fighting into Danziger is not fun at all. As we see the Apollo ban out of SSU into the Umoja pickup for RIT.
So, this game they said we banned Umoja. Maybe that was a mistake. We'll take her this time. We'll see how that plays out for him.
Exactly.
See what first bans come up for SSU on the red side now. Swap sides, so pick goes, and they just take Guan Yu.
They recognize that Guan Yu is such a strong solo laner, and they will just pick him up and play him into whatever RIT wants to fight into a Guan Yu with.
See, they ban out the other one and the Fafnir.
Fafnir into Umoja for supports. I actually like this because Fafnir is such a strong support, able to give a buff to whatever allies near him and allow them just to pump out more damage while being able to absorb damage very well himself. Fafnir is, as we see, we do see the King Arthur pick up again for RIT. They are planning to play that into the Guan Yu. It seemed to work out for them the first time. It just didn't scale as well late game, especially once SSU caught up to it. So maybe they're going to try and put a little more emphasis and focus on winning the early game this time.
Let's see what else they choose to round out their first half of the draft. Looks like their mid laner gets picked up here.
It's very interesting. They are looking to play late game, especially because Scylla scales so well late game. So just looking to farm and win the late game as opposed to letting SSU win the late game.
And then we'll see what they want, what they want here. They've both teams have picked up their solo and their support. Do they want to go for a counter pick onto the mid, or they're gonna take the anchor?
They're gonna run the on her back after recognizing how strong it was against the opponents last time.
And then we'll see what bans. Let's see what. So they just ban, an ADC ban, a carry ban.
They ban out the Hou-Yi. They do not want to have to deal with his ricochets and his stuns. As RIT gonna ban out the Giannis, saying, "No, you're not playing Giannis into our mid again. We don't like your portals."
They banned the Heimdall. So
Heimdall.
It looks like they're trying to give the Anher the best chance possible to get to carry potential.
Definitely. They're trying to make sure that the Anher wins his lane, and they're probably going to try and play through the Anher while the mid lane stays a little even as it did last time.
We'll see what last ban comes out. What is RIT going to prioritize with this very last ban?
Probably going to ban another mid laner. I wouldn't be surprised if they banned Nuwa. Nuwa got a little nerfed, but she's really strong, so I could see that as an option, but I don't know what they'll ban out. Time will tell.
We will see if it's what their goal is.
They do ban out the Nuwa.
So
they are just like, we do not want to deal with your late game Nuwa ults after getting whatever the starter item is. I don't remember.
And they take the Cupid. SSU takes Cupid.
Is that a on her jungle, or is it an on her mid into Cupid carry? Very interesting. Very different out of SSU. As RIT looking like they might take Anubis. They've not confirmed it yet. Probably would be an Anubis jungle because you can't play Scylla anywhere else.
She just doesn't have the ability.
No, she does not. But they're not gonna take Anubis. Gonna look at Amuzin Cobb, a very strong fighter in the duo lane, or not.
They
could
just
straight up switch it up on us and say, no, we're playing Chernobog Wheelix. You're gonna have to deal with it. As we pick up the Ao Kuang, which will be our jungle. And we will see the Cupid Maid on her carry. This will be an interesting game as the trades have gone down. SSU with a very unique comp, maybe trying to use it to their advantage, playing unconventionally. It didn't quite work for them last time with the start on the unconventional / newly conventional solo start, but we'll see if it makes a difference here. And it could make a difference for the better, and I believe in them.
Yeah, I believe, they've probably thought this through. They know what they want, and they're gonna do it. They're gonna pull through with this newfangled plan of theirs.
Definitely.
Loaded in here.
Loading in time indeed.
Now, with these comps, what should the goal what does SSU need to do early to not get hurt, or do they need to play for late? What is the goal of this?
I think I think SSU right now needs to play 100% for the early. Their team comp does not look like it's going to scale as well late game as the Scylla is just going to kind of wreck late game. So if they can end the game around the 15-minute mark potentially, that would be great. So I think they definitely have to play for the early game here because that's where they succeed, because Scylla is such a deadly threat late game.
Definitely, Hurl can walk through a team if done correctly, and it's definitely a threat.
Absolutely.
If there's any newfangled invasions they're going to hit, or they're just going to start, a normal start, nothing too crazy to start out with.
They're probably just going to start a normal start. Lud's going to try and get that early vision as usual, but there's invaders like Curse. If you try and walk into too far into the enemy jungle early, you will get slowed and you will get punished. So he's not going to be able to get too much momentum, but he will try and get that early vision on the onto RIT to see what they're looking to build. Not that it's going to matter all that much. Interesting, out of SSU, we see 3 of them go the exact same starter item. I believe I have the jungle. Yes, I have the jungle, which is something else. I cannot say I've seen it done before, so this will be exciting.
So the uninitiated, you want to explain what the jungle is?
So I have the jungle. It gives you a couple HP 5, which is more HP heals, I'm pretty sure. Attack speed, magical power, and physical power. But what you really want it for is the passive. So when you deal 30%, or you deal 30% increased damage to jungle monsters upon defeating a large jungle monster, you place a ward at its location that lasts longer than 30 seconds. And it can be upgraded at level 20. That's not the point. I think the point is they just want to be able to clear the jungle faster and make those rotations to play for the early game.
You want to know where everyone's at, and they're not afraid of letting everyone know.
Exactly.
There's a little bit of an exchange going down.
Skirmish and duo on her, trying to abuse his on her power against the Chernobog Yamoja. We will see Wan Yu getting forced to play back a little bit. It looks like this King Arthur, he does just he kind of just, Emulous knows he can't really fight the solo laner. He just has to play a little more defensively against him, which is that's never a terrible thing. It's just like sometimes you're just like, I got to make sure I don't get behind. So we will see him take a little bit of poke while trying to clear the lane.
Definitely. After that last game where he lost quite a bit early, he knows he's got to keep his farm even and keep a fighting chance.
Definitely. He can't afford to let the King Arthur get so large again, because this time it might actually cost them if the Scylla is able to get up and running early. We will see, however, the duo side has kind of switched. SSU getting pushed back to their tower line while RIT tries to take their Scorpion.
There's a little bit of an engage. Fafnir falling low. Sun comes out from Yamoja, and they
not going to be enough to take out the Fafnir, thankfully, for SSU, but Fafnir definitely going to have to play back a little bit.
They go for the Scorpion. They try just to finish it off. They're going to let it.
And they are.
They take
it. Does look like it managed to pick it up. We're just seeing Yamoja and Chernobog back off as they go to get their purple buff again, as on her and Fafnir just clear up the rest of the wave.
Cupid's got a decent push going on to the Scylla. You know, maybe this is a pocket pick that is good. Maybe this is big brain. But it looks like the jungler's on. Maybe Cupid's gonna go for the exchange.
It does hit 5, tries to get something going against the Awelix, but is unable to, unfortunately.
That's all. There's no reason to take that fight. You know, you need to farm up and get what you need.
Exactly.
See. A couple waves, you got solo lane pushed in, back, trying to get in the power spike.
Yep.
But Fafnir has rotated to mid to help with the Cupid.
He has Guan Yu managing to maintain his lead and actually push minions under the tower of the King Arthur, which is gonna force the King Arthur to lose a little bit of farm. Not a whole lot, but a little bit.
We are stacking to go for the for RIT's jungler.
Definitely.
They're gonna try to get the damage down.
Guan gets the execute off, and we do see First Blood this time go to SSU, taking out RIT's jungler, as well as they're going to manage to take out the Chernobog in duo lane as well.
Those are big early trades, Just need to get these people. As you realized last game, they lost the early progression. You got the game a little bit close. It ain't gonna happen again. They are ready to fight for every inch of ground. Speaking of which,
to take the early lead and abuse the early lead, especially against Scylla.
King Arthur does go for an exchange with the Guan Yu. King Arthur does win that because the early damage for King Arthur is just so big. Guan Yu just has to give up a little bit of pressure.
Only so much you can do against a King Arthur.
For sure, it's just sometimes it feels so oppressive. And it's like Moja has rotated to match the Fafnir mid.
Yeah.
Gonna leave the ADs, the carries, just farm it out.
Definitely, just what you want to be doing that as early as possible, allowing them to get ahead as fast as they can, especially because solo farm is so strong, which it makes it difficult for the support and jungler because they have to share experience between duo and mid, as well as the jungle. But they also have to not take so much of the farm as to allow their laners to get behind when their laners are what they have to play through, because they are such powerful, being the mid and the carry.
Definitely. There looks like to be another trade in mid lane, Maybe an engage here. They try to go for the stun.
Look at the Ao Kuang looking to gank the Scylla. Unable to get the execute off, unfortunately.
And they consider that good. Back up.
Definitely. They just back off now and say, hey, we've forced the Scylla back. She'll probably stay back, and we're gonna back and get some items and come back to lane. As the Ao Kuang looking to invade the enemy jungle. Never a bad idea. Just gotta be careful. Make sure you don't get collapsed on.
Definitely. That's why Fafnir seems to be following him. Making sure if one person does show up, they've got the CC chain. They've got the ability to get out unscathed. Fafnir also rotates for the King Arthur though. Goes for the CC. King Arthur just spins out. He doesn't want to deal with it. He's not going to worry about. Not going to worry about what he's going to miss. He just wants to get out.
tries to help out the Guan Yu and is just like, we're going to force the Arthur to back off and you just get out of here.
Job's done.
Can't. Yep.
Trying to get some jockeying here. That you seem to be stacking. It's like the Al Kwong is actually going to go for the greater Scorpion.
Definitely. As the Arthur knocks up the Guan Yu, allowing the Wheelish to just pull him out from under tower, giving RIT their first kill on the solo laner. So we're going to have to watch Emulus be a little cautious not to let the Guan Yu get too ahead. Not the Guan Yu, the King Arthur.
King Arthur's, he seems strong. He takes these lane trades aggressively, but this mid lane trade's looking a little bit iffy. Cupid gets Scylla ulted.
Yeah. Yeah, barely able to make it out, as we do see the Chernobog ult. And Chernobog will manage to fly to the Cupid and take him out.
It's like they're going to keep going on this. The Al Kong is kind of top between 3 of them.
Out of position and does get punished for it, getting a little too aggressive instead of backing off after the Cupid guide, making the kill feed a little more in the favor of RIT now. They also have managed to take a gold lead, about 1,000, not the worst. We've seen it before. SSU will come back from this. It's not the end of the world.
As we saw last time, SSU can play from behind and make things unwinnable seem just, make things that seem unwinnable just completely winnable. There's no doubt about what they can do from behind, and I'm not gonna cast a curse. I'm not gonna say they're gonna be from behind, but if it comes to it, I believe in the boys.
Exactly, I believe in them too.
Moses is gonna force out the mid lane.
Definitely a possible rotation out of the Guan Yu. Looks like he's just warding the enemy jungle for rotations, as we see the King Arthur push up a little bit, getting himself a ward out as well.
Arthur's going to try to go for it.
Definitely. Arthur fighting a 2v1. Looks like forcing Emulus and Ao Kwang to just back off. Being like, hey, I'm King Arthur. Do you know what I can do? Just stay back, my guy.
I can 1v1, I can 2v1. That's like they're also going to maybe go for an exchange on this. SSU's just going to say you can have the neutrals, the mid buffs. Yeah. We're just gonna farm. We don't care about these buffs too much.
Exactly.
Like 2 do come after the on her.
Very successful gank out of the Wheelish into duo lane, allowing them to take down on her. Not what you want to see. Fafnir, maybe a little odd position. He should be able to get out of this, being he's a Fafnir, but
one comes down. You see is coming through. It comes through, and that is that.
Will not make it out, unfortunately. Fafnir can only leap so many times.
He can only do dragon things for so long until it just becomes you're had by a good CC chain to come through.
Exactly.
Definitely. Yeah.
Definitely SSU looking to play a little too aggressive. Maybe need to tone it down a little bit. Get focused a little more on the farm. Definitely not out of this by any means, though.
No, definitely not. We saw our last performance. They can play from 5 kills behind and still get the W, pull the W.
Yeah.
Off these late game macro plays. Like Ao Kong and on her are moving towards gold.
Definitely, as the Guan Yu does get poked out of solo lane, but Dummy Slick able to pick up this Scylla over by Gold Fury. As Red Team manages to take down the Gold Fury. Very impressive. SSU being like, we are not out of this. We're going to take this Gold Fury and we're going to take your mid laner's life. So you better watch out.
As you said, keeping that Scylla down to where she doesn't, late game spike is very important. Because once she gets to that point, it's hard to team fight effectively without her just walking through.
Definitely, as we see the Wheelish going on the Guan Yu. And they will take him out. He just keeps getting caught out. Unfortunate. This does mean that the King Arthur is going to take that early lead again, except for this time it doesn't seem by as much as it required him to get 2 kills or 1 kill and an assist on top of the Wheelish. So he's not as ahead as he was last time, but he's definitely ahead now, which means SSU is going to have to be careful looking for rotations coming out around the 15-minute mark.
Yeah, as we see, there's a fight. Cupid Fafnir take on the jungler. Looks like another one shows up. The Alcon is coming.
And Twins will go down, but he will manage to take the Wheelish with him.
A 1-for-1 trade. They may just. They're looking at King Arthur. There is 3 around him. He is somewhat surrounded.
Somewhat surrounded, absolutely, but Fafnir just retreats to mid as Ao Kuang, looking to maybe make a play on the Scylla, decides no, I need to stay back.
It's not worth it to just give her that kill. If it comes to it, that beat a bad trade, the Scylla doesn't need the kills, so they're gonna decide nah, they're gonna give it. They're gonna go back to farming, getting their XP up.
Exactly.
It's like there's another just Fafnir Cupid chilling mid lane trying to get these trades if something large go bad. Look, Emoja and Scylla are going for a rotation to the Pyromancer fight.
Start the Pyromancer, get something happening maybe? Nah, just warding it out, being safe, being like, we got this. Though Anher seems to have fallen behind in his experience lead. Gonna not go down to the Chernobog, and while he's distracting the Chernobog, the Wheelish is gonna go down to the Twins and Lord Lud's excellent teamwork.
Definitely. It's like they're connected by some psychic link. They just know what needs to happen and they do it.
Exactly.
Amazing teamwork coming out of those two. It's like
looking to see an engage around these mids maybe. The Ao Kuang's already gone in, seeing if Fafnir can maybe get a little bit of a follow-up on the Scylla.
I think goes for the on Emoja. Emoja just has to bounce out. I don't know, sometimes through from the Cupid and they give it. The wave isn't there.
The Chernobog does come in, and will Ao Kuang survive? He will not. Scylla does claim the kill with the help of the Chernobog, as we see an engage over here by the red buff. Chernobog manages to fall.
There's 2 are trying to retreat. 2 of RIT trying to retreat.
Definitely. We do manage to see the RIT take out Flake, while Twinge just barely escapes with his life fighting that King Arthur.
They call it there. They're gonna not try to push anything, not do anything too reckless. They're just gonna give what they got and give what they had to and get out.
Definitely, and they're just gonna let the Guan Yu push up and take the tier 1 tower to punish RIT for having the King Arthur make such a rotation.
Arthur does show up eventually just to make sure he doesn't try to push waves too far.
Yep.
At this point, looks like things are coming down to go for an OBJ.
RIT looking to take out the Pyromancer.
See what happens. I think there's no contest, take it. Well, I mean, they're in a position to fight this.
They're trying to contest. As blue team, RIT does manage to take out the Pyromancer, and they're just like, we don't want to take this fight. This isn't a fight worth taking, and just back off. They retreat back to their lanes, but SSU looking to try and make something happen here. They're grouped as 5 in mid. Maybe not the smartest decision, especially with the Chernobog pushing out the left lane. Probably going to take this tier 1, but SSU might collapse on him.
They definitely have some kind of plan. They are going as 4 into the jungle, the Alcon, the Honor.
Definitely.
2 more.
Ao Kuang looking to clean up the Chernobog.
I think they just... I don't know, there's a change. Ao Kuang going to Chernobog. Chernobog is just hurt. The Emoja stun comes through.
Yes. Chernobog will go down, but Slick will also go down as well. As the Scylla just going in on them. And the Wheelish pick looking to have benefited RIT. They're just able to call out so many leaps and knockups that SSU has. As you saw, the Onherd tried to jump away, but Wheelish just did not let him.
Looks like they're gonna... Well, Fafnir is still fighting here. Looks like Cupid will show up. But there's nothing gonna come of it. they're just going to try to not let them take an OBJ that easily after a 2-for-1.
Definitely. Trying to make something happen, though it might not be the smartest to try and make something happen, especially with the King Arthur rotating.
Arthur is in the middle of, looks like 2 of them, and just gonna get out.
He's just gonna get out, able to make it out what he needed to do. As SSU's finally up, they're all getting back to their lanes, getting back to the jungle for Slick, and just looking to get the farm they need to win this one out.
They seem to be wanting to push this this primal. It's Oni primal.
I think it should be Oni, but it might be primal based on the mini map.
Yeah. Okay, a mini fight is going down.
All right, it is the Primal Fury. As Slick gets a little too over aggressive on the Selena Wheelish and does go down.
Or something on the Fafnir. Fafnir just getting hurt. Has to try to get out with his life.
The Chernobog does halt in, but the King Arthur's just there to clean him off.
Arthur just shows up and says, "I needed that. I'll take your free kill, if you will," and then just continue. Yeah. It's like they're gonna rotate for this this objective here.
It's the Primal Fury is probably looking like it's gonna go the way of RIT, but one never knows. But it does end up going towards RIT. Unfortunate for SSU, but they have the ability, and I believe in them. This is not over yet.
Definitely not. It's about a 2 to 3K gold difference, but just one good fight. That's all we need here.
Exactly, and props to Emulus not allowing the Arthur to gain such a momentous lead, only making it a 1-level difference this time instead of a 2-level difference.
Definitely.
Especially while the twins in mid lane has been taking a strong lead against the Scylla, trying not to let her get online, but unfortunately Wheelish has just been outperforming Ao Kuang. So I'd say the experience right now is about even.
We're gonna try to start the Fire Giant. They have
SSU looking for it.
They're gonna burn. They're hoping that no one shows up. I don't think anyone's gonna be able to get vision on it.
King Arthur is gonna show up, but he's not gonna manage to take it as the entirety of SSU does get the Fire Giant buff and just backs off to recuperate, maybe spend a little bit of gold they got off of it, and then they're gonna look to probably push down, if I had to guess, left lane.
Yeah, SSU runs away with their Fire Giant like a giddy kid on Christmas. Just, we got it. Very sneakily, very good macro call to just, hey, they can't see this. We're going to go do
it. Definitely RT recognizing, all right, they got the Fire Giant because we were maybe not as aware. We're more aware now, and we just need to play defense, maybe take Fire Giant off the twins or Flake, and then just counterplay. But SSU is going to look to not let that happen as they look to be pushing down left lane here.
Or do stat. They're definitely going for something here. The real question is, are they gonna push for the kill, or they're just gonna try to push this wave in and just take care of the tier 1?
Definitely, just take out the tier 1, and if they can, maybe get a pick or 2. But RIT looking to defend it, but Scylla's not there.
That's their main damage to walk through this. If Scylla's not there, they lose a big chunk. Fight goes in. After goes in.
He takes the tier 1 as the fight commences.
One using.
He's on the Chernobog.
Solo gets nothing. No resets. No nothing good.
No, nothing. As the Wheelish does go down, but Slick takes Slick's life as well. As the Fafnir getting collapsed on, maybe does manage to get out.
Moja stun hits, but they're gonna turn it. They're gonna turn it. Cupid goes for
take out the Emoja. Beautiful turn, but one does go down, and it's now a 3v3. The Scylla looking to take out the Cupid, but the Cupid will make it out.
They're going for it. Fafnir's going. Not Fafnir. And they're trying to go for that Chernobog, and everyone is so hurt. There is no way they can defend this shit.
They're looking to take this tier 2. They do have double hunters, so they will shred it very fast as RIT just backs off, knowing that they they took Fire Giant off Emulus and Slick, and they can't defend anymore. They just had to let the T2 go.
Now that, with that tier 2 walk-in, it kind of just frees up that goal difference, back in this game easily.
Definitely.
It's like SSU was trying to push onto the Pyro. I think we'll Scorpion first, and then they're just going to blow Pyro up real quick. Hopefully the Pyro doesn't get here. And then,
they will take the Pyromancer as they back off to spend the gold they got off the kills, the towers, and the Pyromancer, and regroup and prepare for the next engage.
And like we've said, this team is not unused to having to make these big hero, are not bad at making these from behind hero plays. They're good at it when it comes to it, and this is what we're seeing. They translate. They have a good fight. Take it for double hunters, just shredding every tower they come into.
Definitely. As on her will ult the purple buff to secure it, so the Wheelish does not take it.
They're stacking here for.
Looking like the Gold Fury is going to come back up, and this is where our next engage is going to be at. 3 members of SSU do still have Fire Giant, very important, especially with 2 of them being the Twins and Flake. They're major damage dealers of the team.
They have a full 5-stack. Looks like one of RIT backs. And this is the go call. Fafnir goes in, and they're looking to take the fight.
They're looking at the Scylla right now. Scylla will use her dash to get out.
Oh, and they'll go down the. Scylla does pick up Slick.
Does take out the Ao Kuang, trying to dive the backline. Maybe dove a little too hard and just got caught out as SSU just trying to make sure they take down the Gold Fury, and they do. And are just probably trying to get out here. Guan Yu not looking too healthy. Lord Lud as well, but the Twins manages to pick up the Wheelish while Lord Lud sacrifices his life so the Cupid can get out, which is what he needs to do. He needs to make sure that Cupid stays alive as well as Flake does, because otherwise, if they don't have the damage to counter engage, they're just not going to be able to fight into RIT and win.
RIT for that. I mean, they're gonna take this tier 2, and they're gonna give it. They take tier 2 and just back it off.
Yeah, they realized they lost the Gold Fury, but they were like, we need to get this tier 2, and we can get this tier 2 because we took out Lord Lud, very influential, as well as Slick, and they just could not defend the tier 2 with the state that they were in.
They recognized that the tank was down. There was no way for them to really be aggressive. Stop people that were up couldn't effectively stop that push, and they just take it.
Yeah.
But SSU is starting to maybe they're trying to get some vision around this Fire Giant.
Definitely, we're going to see an engage here shortly. I'm sure you're going to see SSU and RIT start to group and look for taking this Fire Giant.
Now, it looks like the Chernobog is kind of out, and if this engage comes through soon, he may not be able to get on this.
I don't know. Chernobog's got a global ultimate that allows him to teleport to both ally and enemy gods, so he's definitely not out of it. His global ultimate would be able to bring him into the fight swiftly if he needed to.
They definitely do. The damage going on to King Arthur. King Arthur just backs up after taking that fate's full of damage, and they're trying to jockey here for position.
Yep.
Looks like SSU kind of just they have to peel back and make sure their turret doesn't get busted. Mid tier 1 doesn't go down. And Cupid is still just here poking out RIT.
Just making sure they can't get in and do the Fire Giant because they want to do the Fire Giant.
This is going to be a fight for the Giant, and let's see how this goes down.
Emulus on SSU's side does appear to be backing, maybe not the safest play, but SSU doesn't appear to think that RIT is going to engage quite yet, giving Emulus enough time to get the upgraded version of Eye of the Jungle, known as Protector of the Jungle, which just gives immense power and attack speed, as well as gives you additional power and protections while you fight in the jungle. A very strong item, especially when most of these engages are happening in the jungle.
They tried to get on Aldon and have to force feed. Sun does come down on Fafnir. Fafnir goes, Emojo comes out. Fafnir's just out. He doesn't want to deal with the Emojo.
He does get forced to use his ult out, making this a 4v5 for SSU, but the Wheelish and Emoji don't have a lot of health. Well, Slick sadly will go down to the Scylla. He's just not having any luck diving this Scylla alone. He needs like someone else there to either increase his damage output or be another target to protect him from dying.
Looks like after that little exchange, SSU decides they can't play for it. They can't play for either the pyro or the fire.
No, they cannot. They let the pyro get out. I will believe they will try to make sure that the fire giant doesn't go the way of RIT if they have anything to say about it. Well, Flake sadly does go down to the Chernobog.
Not on the Chernobog. Chernobog tries to fly. Chernobog goes down to go on you.
He does go down.
Just trying to run through them. They're all so low. With any kind of big CC or big thing, I think they're both just going to back off the giant.
Definitely. They realize they can't do enough on their own. They need another member of their team, which is unfortunately down. Cupid can only do so much damage.
You take those trades. The forces, you need to take the fire, but they, well, it's a mutual thing, and you take those trades.
Absolutely. We will see both teams back off of Fire Giant, knowing neither of them can do it, as we're probably going to see to look them engage on it one more time.
Looks like round 2 is about to start.
Indeed. Chernobog and Flake are both down though right now. Flake gonna come up before the Chernobog, so he'll get there sooner.
But you are right with the Chernobog ult, even if this fight goes well and the Anhur is there, the Chernobog can always just show up. And that's the scary part of this.
As we see the Chernobog go in the air for vision now. Chooses not to land and just stand still.
Cupid is just kind of limit testing forward, making sure that they're not going to engage. Scylla is on the flank looking for maybe an off-angle ult, maybe just some big damage.
Just probably looking for that big damage, as Scylla's known for. Her big circles do a lot, but the twins able to just blow the Scylla up as Flake and Slick pick off the Yemoja and the Chernobog.
She was out for blood.
It goes down to twins now as they look to turn to take the Fire Giant, as King Arthur's left alone to defend the Titan.
King Arthur decides there's no reason in feeding anything. Full team gets fire, and they're just going to take it mid.
Yeah, they're probably just going to look to run it down mid and at least take the Phoenix. I don't expect them to take the Titan, because by the time they make it to Titan, RIT will be up. But all 5 of them do have Fire Giant. They're just sadly without their ults, which is a crucial part in team fights.
The first to be up is Yemoja. King Arthur is going to maybe try to dock it. He's just going to give it. And
they're, as predicted, they are not going to go for the Titan. They're just going to look to take the left side Phoenix and get out.
2 Phoenixes off of 1 fire, and they just back it up.
I gotcha. So we SSU looking at the Primal Fury now, just gonna pick it off hopefully.
If you take on Primal, they're just gonna take some exit kills from the jungle, and they're gonna try and get out, make sure no one's coming for them, and then just reset, spend that aggressive money.
Definitely, as they do just take down the Primal Fury, and you're going to back to spend that gold and get ready for possibly the final push of the game with them having Fire Giants still up.
Now this is definitely this. I'm not gonna say not gonna call it a comeback, but this is definitely where we need to be for this. It's one fight, one mess up, one slip up from RIT, and it's a game ender.
Definitely.
As looks like they're gonna try to stack mid. They're gonna split maybe. Just trying to take these waves.
They appear to be grouping closer to the right side of the map, maybe looking to take the right Phoenix before they do take down the Titan.
SSU was just going for this madman push onto the turret.
Definitely. They're probably, if I had to guess, they will take this tier 2, especially with all 5 of them having Fire Giant up.
They do take it, and they're just... Backup transformation comes out.
They do manage to take the tier 2 down. No decision to defend it from RIT as they move on to the Phoenix.
Like, somewhat of
lots of ults coming out from Umoja, King Arthur on her, and we will see Chernobog go down temporarily, as well as the Wheelish will claim Slick's life, but they're not giving up. They want this Phoenix to go down.
big abilities. They're going to try to force them off. They're going to try and just push down the Phoenix.
They are. It looks like they are managing to, and probably will, take down the Phoenix. And they do. And they're just looking to push into the Titan room and end this game now. They have both of their hunters alive. And there's a good chance they will take down the Titan here.
3 Phoenixes, there's nothing that can stop this push.
No. Just like that, Shawnee State takes RIT in week 6 of the Redbird Invitational with a nice, clean 2-0 sweep.
That
words.
A very solid game. Very good fighting from both teams. You know, our boys are very used to playing from the, are not very used to it, but they are very comfortable playing from back, and just goes to show that our boys are pretty unstoppable.
Definitely, they kept their calm. They picked their fights where they needed to, and it's just those 1 or 2 engages around the Gold Fury and Fire Giant that gave SSU the lead and the ability to take the Phoenixes and just take that final Fire Giant and clean up. It was what they needed, and they executed it perfectly.
Perfect macro play, perfect gameplay.
Absolutely.
I think we're going to have a player interview. We're going to talk to one of our outstanding players after this quick break. Welcome back, everyone. We have with us the Twins and Lord Ludd. Now, for those of you who are watching, Lord Ludd support, and the Twins, I believe, mid laning. And I want to say some of the teamwork I saw from you two made me yearn for someone that works as well as you two do together.
Oh, it took a lot of work. It took a lot of work to get there, but I think we've the past couple of games we've ironed out our teamwork really well, and I'm really excited about it.
It's been excellent.
It definitely shows. It definitely shows how well you seem to mesh, and not even you two, but your entire team together seems to be sort of a hive mind. It seems like one person decides, we're gonna do this, and everyone just we'll do that.
It's the way it's got. It's the way it's got to be.
That is Ludd.
I am the main shot caller. Yes.
You call something, we're going for it.
Yeah, definitely. Now, first game, your solo laner loses a little bit early. You have to play from behind the game, most of the game. What is your thought process whenever it starts getting those situations where you've got to perform, you've got to play good?
For us, we just have to. It doesn't impact us as much as badly with the solo laner. We have to keep playing our game and know what we can do, and just pay attention to those solo rotations. We were getting a lot of free farm in duo with our carry, so we were able to get really ahead there. I thought, and I thought we just played a very safe and neutral farmy game.
We didn't let it snowball out of control like it could have.
Definitely, the on her that first match kind of showed up there towards the end. You kind of made them plays you all needed for them to happen. Very good play coming from them.
AD carry. What can I say? Blake did fantastic, and I was super impressed when he has a 2-level lead. Hey, he's the same level as that solo laner that's about to start ripping us a new one. Let's go.
Some of the fights I saw go down were just the kite and just the ability to do damage. It was amazing. Now, let's go in to map 2. A good draft. Why do you prioritize the Kukulon ban there instead of taking him again after such a good performance on the first one?
So we just didn't have first pick. We had first pick the first one, so we're like, yeah, we want Kukulon. But we didn't have first pick, so we're like, we don't want to go against that. That poses way too many issues to us.
That is definitely a good reason.
Kukulon's a very scary god.
Definitely. Now, what was it like playing a Cupid in what was the thought process behind taking Double Hunter and playing a Cupid into the Scylla?
I've been pushing for Double Hunter the entire time because I think Double Hunter can be really good with the early pressure from most hunters give. And with how good Alquan is right now, he can give us enough magical damage. And as you saw, we went 4 protectors of the jungle and kind of abused that and just ran at them late game so the tanks would come at us and they'd just get melted. It was great.
No fear of the Scylla late game, just no fear.
No, not particularly, no. If their tanks came at us, they melted before they could do anything super hard.
And another big part of that was our jungler Slick may have seemed like he was inting, but he was constantly on that Scylla, constantly putting out a ridiculous amount of damage. The entire game 2 comp, that was all Ben. That was all Ben's draft. He was like, yeah, let's do this. I want to try it. And for the first time running it in ever, it worked well.
Just credit where credit's due. That was a pretty good. Threw us off for a bit with where we were going, but I bet you threw them off too.
Well, It was picking on her because we know that we like on her, and I can play in mid. So they're not going to ban hunters for that reason, and they didn't have a hunter, so we're just going to ban hunters. And then they didn't pick another hunter, so we just picked Cupid, and then they're left with a really, really not great hunter pick.
Also,
Something
the
not
sneak on fire giant.
That was great.
That was. I saw that. I saw that. They didn't have vision, and it's just like giving little kids running away from Christmas. You just had your giant, and were taking it. It was nice to watch. It was a very interesting take and a very solid one at that. Do you have anything to add, Ronan? Anything you want to ask our carries?
No, you covered almost everything. It was a very excellent play from both of you and the entire team.
Now, I have one question before we call this. You ever thought about combining your two facial hairs so they make like one full beard? Or is that like off the table?
It's an interesting thought, but I like having him being the anti-facial hair me. I think that fits best.
I love it.
That's a solid call. It's a solid call. All right. Well, I think any last words to spread? Any shout outs you want to give? Anything you want to tell your adoring fans?
Excellent team play from the entire team tonight.
I loved
it. Was great. Really happy to see us finally getting in the motions where we should have been at the start of the season. Hopefully we can see some other esports soon. I don't know. I think League plays tomorrow or Tuesday, but I think Rocket League does play tomorrow. Yeah, that's right. So go check those guys out. They're awesome.
Definitely. Anything from you, Twins? Anything you want to add? Anything you want to say?
We've been grinding this past week on scrims and making sure we're understanding what we're doing and focusing really hard on our misplays and trying to improve. So it's been a great week of practice for us, and the subs have supported us as well. So Ronan and Shrimp, you guys are amazing.
Oh, also, shouts to RIT. You guys knocked us out of the playoffs last semester. I'm so happy we finally got to get our revenge on you guys. That was great. I'm happy. Good matchup.
Two very close games, Very good play from both teams, but someone's got to win them, and I'm just a little bit happier it's us. So thank you for showing up, talking to us. I will let you go have a little celebratory, take a little wine glass while
get a sparkling cider. A bit of the bubbly. A little bit
of that apple cider, crack it up with a knife if you have to, call it a party. Call it a party for us.
Yeah.
All right, thank y'all. Well, as you saw, these massive games, good showing from the teams. I'm very proud of what we did. And, this is the last time we're going to see them. This Smite team still goes. We're still playing. We're still big. All of SSU's esports, big games, big seasons are coming up. Don't forget to drop a follow to the Twitch channel, Twitter, wherever you can find us. Very influential. And we will see you all on the next stream.
Catch you later, guys. See you later. Go Bears.
Go Bears.
I grew up making games, so I wanted to make a career out of that. Shawnee being a small school was the thing that drew me to it. Shawnee is nationally ranked in the Princeton list for game design. A lot of the professors own their own businesses. That kind of prompted me to start my own business. I started a game studio. I don't think that would have been possible if the school were bigger, and Shawnee put that all together for me. I'm Dalton, and I invite you to discover Shawnee State University for yourself. Please visit discover.shawnee.edu.